what's up, everybody? Welcome into the pod at the Palace. Scotty Borderline and Curtis Wilkerson here. Arkansas lost to Vanderbilt, so there's that. And here we are to talk about it. Thought they took a step forward. Maybe they did. They took, you can't even call it 2 steps back. It was like just like falling off of a cliff. Just an incredibly disappointing game, effort, performance, all those things again in Fayetteville. 85-82. Weird game. Arkansas is up by 10 early. They get down by as many as 16 with like 6 minutes to go. They rally back and fall short. And so here we are, my friend. Shout out to the sickos out there who are tuning into this podcast because, this is just an incredibly difficult team to get any kind of a feel for what they're all about. Very inconsistent. I thought at the very bare minimum that maybe Arkansas was past the point of the whole we're not going to play hard tonight thing, but they're not. They Caleb Battle said it best, did not have the juice in this game against Vanderbilt, and they fall to 14-14 on the season. 5-10 in SEC play. They just lost to a team that had won 7 games all year and 2 in the league. Ugly, arguably the worst loss of the Musselman era. And no silver linings, no excuses, just sucked all the way around.
Not good. Arkansas has lost now back-to-back home games against Vanderbilt. And if you go to hogstats.com and look at the series results, Arkansas overall has lost 3 straight to Vanderbilt.
Jerry Stackhouse owns Eric Musselman, and maybe we need to go back to the NBA days to see what Stack's record was against Musk. He's got his number, clearly.
Ellis, I think that's what you need to look up.
We've got our producer Andrew Ellis is here working the boards.
Jerry Stackhouse has a player against Musk?
Yeah. Good luck finding that out.
That's not a quick Google search. That's a wild Google search.
Just
pull up 6 tabs.
Go to look at StatMuse. Maybe. Okay. I don't know. We're grasping at straws here, man.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell do you guys want us to say at this point?
Jerry Stackhouse had it on. We predicted that.
He did. He looked great.
He had it on. He somehow pulled off a suit that was like 3 or 4 different shades of silver and made it work. And he came out there, put his feet up on your couch in some white high tops.
He did that.
He just, like Curtis, I don't know how much we want to actually dive into the game itself. KenPom box score, it's got the win probability deal. It's sad because I normally only do this when we talk about how sunburned Missouri's KenPom page is.
Yep.
I'm going to show you the win probability chart on for this Arkansas Vanderbilt game.
Oh, good.
You see that?
Yeah. Fantastic.
This says that Vanderbilt had a 6.7% chance to win the game when Arkansas was up 20-11 with 11:24 left in the first half. I thought that Arkansas was just going to blow those cats out of the building.
It sure looked that way.
Jeremiah Davenport, I think KB hit a couple free throws, and then Jeremiah Davenport hit a right corner 3. Arkansas was up 20-10. The ball movement was great early, and after JD hit that 3, I think I leaned over to you and said, I'm going to make a prediction that we get a team pass total tonight from Eric after the game. We ended up talking to Eric for 4 minutes.
Yeah, we did not get a team pass total from Eric after the game, and it looked like Arkansas was just going to run away with this one, and they should have. Like you mentioned, they got up 20-11 there. Battle scored like 11 of the first 15 points. He was getting to the line.
He was in pure demon mode.
Oh,
still
yeah. Vandy had nothing. Vandy had nothing for him. I mean, 36 points, 9 of 17. That's efficient. 4 of 10 for 3 after starting 0 of 4. 14 of 17 at the free throw line. He was, 3 assists, 3 steals. He was great in every facet of the game aside from a half dozen turnovers after you gave him the pat on the back for having 1 turnover in like the entire month of February. He heard that and then thought he would make an ass out of you and himself. So
KB, The final box says that he drew 12 fouls tonight, that's Mason Jones territory there.
That it is.
Or Trae Young car crash territory. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Free throw merchant type stuff we're talking about here. I bet like 4 or 5 of those came in the early minutes, and I'm like, KB's just going to do it again, and he's just going to kind of spark the offense. And
he had 15 points at halftime, and I tweeted out, how many points does Battle have to score for Arkansas to win this game?
Oh, I saw your mentions were like all of them. And somebody else said 1 million.
Yeah, more than 36 is the answer.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to do the Caleb Battle scored 36, but it wasn't enough. Like, somebody else can do something.
Yeah, and nobody else did. And that's the disappointing part about it.
L had 19.
L had 19. L hit 3 threes. Those are obviously positives.
Shot above 50%. Yeah,
I know that you took the shots defended, and that probably wasn't pretty for him. Did he score more points than he gave up? I don't know.
But I don't know. Maybe I should have charted that.
It was tough scenes for him on the defensive end.
Yeah,
you got 15 out of Mark. It was a hollow 15, very hollow 15.
3 of 11 for 15.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's not right. Just did not look good, and quite honestly, I question why he was in the game at certain points.
Yeah.
The front court was a complete no-show. Makai, 0 points. Nothing. No points. No bushka for Makai Mitchell. That's not going to get it done. In 19 minutes, Chandler Lawson was a no-show. He had 2 points. Jeremiah Davenport gave him that drop-off, and when he was the middleman in the zone, he dunked it. That was it. Points-wise. He had no rebounds, Chandler Lawson, in this game. You wound up playing Trevin Brazil 17 minutes. Kind of because you had to, because you wanted to early, because you had to late. He had 7 points. He had a 3, had 6 rebounds. That's all fine. He did foul out and just had one of the lowest IQ plays I can recall seeing.
There's a difference in
this
trying
season.
to wolf somebody.
Yeah.
And what he did, which would have been applauded by Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
In terms of like running through somebody's body, taking them to the ground kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was just, there was like, I think 4 seconds left on the shot clock when that foul took place.
Mm-hmm. 1 possession game, 4 seconds left in the shot clock.
He, because of that play, leaves the game, and Jeremiah Davenport's the low man on the free throw there. Couple of misses, and then Vin Allen Lubin goes basically untouched to the rim, grabs an offensive board, and somebody lays a finger on him and won.
Ball game. The end. Vin Allen Lubin, who is going to be on the Natty State Sports Portal Big Board tomorrow morning because he sunned Arkansas's front court the entire game. Any big man who is mobile, like who can just actually move, that's Makai Mitchell's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Had nothing for him, just driving right by him like he wasn't even there, just going right around him to crash the glass and get boards. It was just a mismatch. So
you look at, I think Eric got asked about, he didn't do pregame availability on Zoom. So on the radio show, Eric's like, and it was fairly obvious. Like Vandy's got 3 guys who have beating hearts, and they go for 19, 21, and 22.
62 of their 85 points.
And then somebody's uncle, Paul Lewis, also added 11 points. And I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Like, Vandy went into this game last in the SEC in in-league offensive efficiency. They were scoring 96.1 points per 100 possessions. And then they made, 4 threes?
Yep, 4 of 16.
4 threes, and they scored 85 on the road.
Arkansas, they shot 50.9% from the field. They shoot sub 40 on the year. They went to the free throw line 32 times. Arkansas couldn't keep him in front. The Manjon kid for Vanderbilt, there wasn't a person in that gym that could keep that kid in front. And they were just getting to the foul line. I mean, 32 free throws. That's, Arkansas had 31, but Arkansas can't shoot either, and they do a lot of other things very poorly, so they have to win the free throw battle, and they didn't. When Arkansas got up 10 in this game, Jerry Stackhouse showed his own.
Yeah.
And speaking of kryptonite, Arkansas had nothing for it. You mentioned it. Like after that point, they made one of their final 17 shots of the first half.
Opened the game 7 for 10, closed 1 for 17.
Yeah. The 10-point lead dissipates. They give up the pull-up jumper at the buzzer to go down 4 at halftime. Vanderbilt comes out on a 6-0 run, to get it to double digits to start the second half. And then it was just kind of a lackluster effort until the final few minutes there, and it was just a flurry that just wasn't enough.
Yeah,
man.
Arkansas gets up 10 early, and then at the 6:07 mark in the second half, Vandy's up by 16.
Yep.
So after your hot start, you get outscored by Vanderbilt, 7-20 overall, 2-12 in the league. They are a missed triple jump away against Texas A&M from having one league win
over Missouri. A team that scores 66 points per game on the season scored 50 in the second half in Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It just sucked. And it's
as you so poetically said on the postgame show, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. We got into the details for a few minutes, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just Jerry Stackhouse and Vanderbilt came and put the final dagger in this just brutal season.
Yeah.
The momentum you thought you had, it's over. I thought Andrew made a really good point in the post-game show about, is this the worst loss of, the season or their Musselman era or whatever it might be? Well, yeah, I agree. Like, given, they got their ass beat many times in Bud Walton Arena this year, but more than 30 points by Auburn, more than 30 by Tennessee, double digits South Carolina, lost to freaking UNC Greensboro. But given where you're at in the season, with the momentum that you thought you built and the calendar getting ready to flip to March, and then you lose to just a piss-poor Vanderbilt team like that at home for your 6th, home loss of the year, that just, boy, that can't happen. And what is it about Vanderbilt that just has Arkansas's number?
Great segue, Curtis. Someone give me their mic.
Come get in the mic. Come spit into the mic right now, Ellis, because you found the stat.
I found the stat.
I
found stats, Curtis. I got years worth of evidence here. So back in 1999, 98, Eric Musselman was an assistant coach in Orlando. Stack was kind of early in his career right there, averaged 11, 3-3 against him. The next year, Stack's role grows a little bit, right? In 4 games against Muss, 22, 5-6. Better shooting splits, feeling pretty good. Now Muss is an assistant coach in Atlanta. That's when Stack really started finding his groove. Goes for 32, 7-6 on 45, 42, 83 splits. Then the next year, this is the real key here. The next year, Muss still in Atlanta, still coaching against him. He averages 21.3, but 8.7 assists. He was dishing the ball out. He had cracked the code of Eric Musselman. And that was the most assists he averaged against any team all year. Was at 8.7. Then a couple years later, whenever Muss is the head coach in Golden State, he averages 22 and 6.5. Fair enough. And then the next year, he was kind of a role player by that point. He went 8-2-2 in 21 minutes in the only game he played against him. And then he faced him late in his career, went for 13, 3-3 against the Kings. Jerry Stackhouse has owned him for a while. He's had a lot of good games over Muss. Won the last 3 against him. Frozone got him.
Tremendous.
There we go. Hell of a cameo right there.
I'm good. I've still got a taco
it's
left.
just is wild behavior from Arkansas to lose this game. And just you look at this team, and again, like 14-14, incredibly disappointing. 5-10 in SEC play, incredibly disappointing. But the most disappointing thing to me is how they played in Bud Walton Arena. Like 6 losses in that building, and just so uncompetitive in several of them. And for whatever reason, this team just tends to show more heart or have more juice, to take a line from Caleb Battle, on the road than they do at home. And, you know, the place was less than half full against Vanderbilt, and rightfully so, given, you know, how both of these two teams have played. But I just don't understand how the most controllable thing for a basketball team or basketball player can be the most inconsistent with a team, especially in a place where the momentum is generated for you by thousands of people cheering for you and trying to push you forward. Like, that's why they call it home court advantage.
Right.
And they just don't bring it at home. And I just, I don't know why. And after Battle said they didn't have the juice, I asked him why, and he didn't have an answer either. And like he said, like, if they knew, then it wouldn't be a problem.
It was like you remember after the Lipscomb game in North Little Rock, I asked Tremont Mark about the personality of the team or the identity, and he was like, I don't have an answer for you right now.
Very similar
it was
vibe.
That just, what was that, 3 months?
Yeah.
2 plus months
December.
later. Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty unbelievable. Like, Arkansas's lost 6 games at home this year. Last year they lost 3. Year before that, 1. The year before that, 1. And then I believe in Eric's first season they lost 4. So Arkansas only lost 4 home games Eric's first year, when they were playing a guy the size of basically Caleb Battle at the 5.
Right.
But, like, that team should have lost more home games, but it didn't, because it freaking played hard every freaking night.
Yep. And it's so frustrating that there's just been all this chippiness between Arkansas and Vanderbilt lately. We all remember last year at Vandy, everything that went down. And this game got started off the exact same way, where you've got, I've never seen a triple tech before.
Yeah.
There's just one, I've just never seen it. And who was it for? Devo and KB got the text for Arkansas. I don't remember who it was for Vanderbilt, but yeah, like, you've got that, for whatever reason, there's some animosity and edge to those games, and then you just get beat by them. Like, I distinctly remember last year it was a very similar situation where Arkansas was up double digits, and it's, you know, getting a little bit physical and a little bit chippy, and then they had the whole situation where AB shoots like 7 free throws in a row with the technicals, and he's doing the tier thing to the Vanderbilt student section, and they just came out and they just sunned them in the second half. The Liam Robbins dude was going nuts. They didn't have anything for Jordan Wright. They just got out physical and outmanned. And then it's just kind of the same thing. Like, Vanderbilt just became the most confident team in the world, and they knew they could get to the rim whenever they wanted to. They were playing with confidence. They had Arkansas back on their heels, and it was crickets in Bud Walton Arena until the very end. And again, it was just too little too late. But man, just I have no idea how we got here. You know,
I don't know. And I'll speak to the chippiness thing for just a second too. I will go on record as being a guy who loves that. Love the chippiness, love the emotion of the game, guys showing their personality and showing that, you know, like, you can say things to me, but I'm going to give it back to you type of deal. Arkansas's last 2 games have been chippy. The last 2 teams that Arkansas has played, Missouri and Vanderbilt, those teams are like, Missouri and Vanderbilt, they start chirping, leave it alone. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of get it from the Missouri standpoint, given, like, what we know.
Yeah.
About Missouri from, you know, the rumor standpoint or whatever. But, like, just Arkansas should just not worry with that and just, like, brush it off or whatever. But Arkansas's not in a position to do that.
No.
Like, they are not that much better than those 2 teams.
Clearly.
They're not.
Yeah.
And maybe we should have seen this Vandy game coming, because Arkansas fooled around with Missouri for far too long.
They did. Yeah. Yeah,
At
they
home.
absolutely did.
At home. Losing to a soon-to-be 0-18 Missouri team midway through the second half on your home floor after several encouraging performances in a row. I hate playing the, like, we should have seen it coming, because we talked about it. We thought this team was past the trying part of it.
Well, we thought bare minimum they'd win this game.
Yeah, it was another one of the just do a little bit more than show up.
Yep.
Arkansas they didn't show up until 7 minutes left in the game.
No, they didn't. I wonder where. Just looking at this box score, like, I wonder where Devo was.
Yeah, valid.
He played 13 minutes in this game. Was largely ineffective while he was in there, but he didn't play the last 17 minutes and 17 seconds.
Yeah. What do you think it was that got him on the sideline? Because
I have
like
no idea.
it wasn't like that he was just like he got pulled out of the game and went and sat on the bench. Like, and
Well-
I'm not looking too much into this, but he was sitting on the floor like the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I charted him, gave up 1 bucket on 3 shots defended, and he had like 4 potential assists. So like, what was it?
Well, I remember he came out to start the second half and he was chucking it. That was the one thing that stood out to me because I remember looking over at you guys and saying, yeah, Devo went in the locker room at halftime and said, don't worry, boys, I got this. He just came out right away and he just looked aggressive. He was hunting his shot.
Yeah.
And then like 90 seconds later, he was out of the game. So I don't know if that's just not what they wanted from him or if he said something or if he pulled a hamstring. I have no idea. But I found that curious. And again, the front court just got dominated there. It's whatever. Guys couldn't get it done at home against one of the worst power conference teams in the country. And so it kind of begs the question at this point, like, what now? I mean, what now for this team? Because, like Muss said, and it made me want to just rip my head, like, actually off of my shoulders. And
I say that all the time at home to my kids. I'm like, this made me so mad. I want to take my head off and throw it.
I just wanted to rip my head off and go dunk it through the hoop back on the floor. When Muss said back to the drawing board, it's like you're 28 games into the season. The next time you play is March. There is no drawing board to go back to at this point. But he's right, So I'm not mad at him because he's wrong. He's right.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn it, why haven't this team been able to figure it out? I mean, what are they going to do now? Like Muss was asked that question, and it was just the best coach speak answer I've ever heard. Well, we're gonna get ready for Kentucky, and then we're gonna get ready for LSU, and then we're gonna get ready for Alabama. So, the end.
And then it was like, if there's a game after that, we'll get ready for that one too.
Yep.
It's like you do have at least one more.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's been the most difficult, I think, recording we've ever had to do because, like, at some point, there's nothing left to say
Yeah.
about this other than we all agree that it stinks and we all agree that it's disappointing and we all agree that it's just baffling. The ups and downs and the inconsistencies and the lack of answers.
I might be most disappointed that we had to wait until 8 p.m. for this to start.
Facts
the
on
game to
that.
start.
I mean, it's as I look right now, it's 12:31 a.m. as we're
Ellis
recording
sang
this.
earlier today, waiting all day for Tuesday night.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's currently 12:31 a.m. I would like to be in bed, and I would like to be doing this pod after a win. And all you had to do was beat Vanderbilt, man.
yeah. I mean, I don't think
they've
that was
got-
asking for too much.
They've got 3 beating hearts and Jerry Stackhouse, and apparently that's more than enough.
Yep. You got a 36-point performance from one of your guys at home, and you lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I don't know. What the hell do you people want from us? We're trying over here. I mean, what now for the Razorbacks? They play 4 more games and the season's over. I mean,
They prepare for Kentucky,
yeah.
and then after that they prepare for LSU. I can't even finish it.
I know. Yeah. So, I think that maybe if we're really looking hard for a silver lining, Arkansas will probably get an opportunity to avenge this loss Wednesday night in Nashville against Vanderbilt at the SEC tournament. That's all I got.
That's fair. I don't even really want to say this out loud, but I enjoyed watching Caleb battle for the most part.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's in a mode, and I could have just done with like half the turnovers.
Would have been nice.
Like just half. Because I was talking about this month he had 1 turnover going into tonight's game, and then he had 6. So it's like, did KB play well? Yeah, like they wouldn't have been in the game without him. But who knows what they could have done on those 6 possessions where the ball gets turned over and
I felt like
they had 13 as a team. He had 6 of them.
Yeah. I mean, he took 17 shots. I felt like he should have taken 25. And I feel like some of his turnovers were him not wanting to keep chucking it. Like, I remember a couple times he was on a break or kind of had numbers, and he just maybe forced the issue on passes that weren't there when he had a lane to the rim or had the pull-up available. It was almost like he was trying to be unselfish on some of those turnovers. The hell with that, dude. Let it fly.
Yeah.
Go Mason Jones on him.
Right.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. I did try. I had him with 7 potential assists, which is more than I thought. So he was sharing it pretty well. It was like him and L almost had like a nice 2-man game going for a little bit when Arkansas was clawing back from, I thought it was 15 down. I think I said that on the post-game show, but it was actually 16. Those 2 guys helped get them back in the game, but I just don't know how you go from up 10 to down 16 to Vandy on your home floor. I just don't know how you let that happen. But it's this team in a nutshell.
Yep.
Like nothing is surprising. I mean, they're 28 games in and they still don't know who they are.
Yeah, and now they get to go to Rupp to play a Kentucky team that just scored 200 points on Alabama in that building last weekend, and they had a hell of a win over Mississippi State Tuesday night, buzzer beater from Reed Shepherd. So they took a loss to LSU, but they've bounced back pretty nicely from that. I have no expectations of Arkansas going into Rupp Arena and winning that game. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they played really well down there. But again, it doesn't matter. It's just kind of where we're at with this season. And it's been disappointing, but we'll see what they do the rest of the way here, and then it's going to be an eventful off season. So with that, Friday, make sure you tune into the Pod at the Palace because we are going to have a guest on the show that will be interesting and intriguing to hear from, and we're excited about that.
Who has experience winning in Rupp Arena?
Who has experience winning in Rupp Arena? So that'll be fun, and we're probably going to be doing a fairly hefty cleanup and addition segment of the portal board because some of the guys that we have up there, they're coming off, and some new additions are going to be made. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe it won't be as depressing.
I thought about doing a live addition to the board. Like I think that would be, y'all looking at like the backside of me would be more interesting than hearing me talk about losing to Vanderbilt.
A rumor has it people like looking at the backside of you, so...
I don't know. I think that capper stopped capping.
All right. I mean, we just talked about a loss to Vanderbilt for a half hour. You got anything else?
No, we set the 30 minutes.
Yeah. That was our goal coming into it, and we made it. It wasn't easy. Thank God for Ellis stepping in with the Stackhouse versus Must numbers. Otherwise, we would have been
no doubt.
We would have been in bad.
Shout out to him
there.
too for the Taco Bell. I'm gonna eat the Taco Bell and then I'm gonna finish off this Cosmic Stardust energy drink and do something.
Yeah, do something
to get on the site.
All right. Well, again, in all seriousness, everyone who listens to the show, everyone who's continued to rock with us through this wildness, thank you. Continue to do that. It'll be well worth it at some point, even if you don't believe it now. But we feel the way you feel, and hopefully the Razorbacks feel equally as bad after that loss, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But for Scotty Borland, it's been Curtis Wilkerson with Natty State Sports, and rain or snow, sun or dark, it doesn't matter. We'll be back on Friday. The show must go on. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.